510 bail bonds.
Yeah, hi, I'm calling on behalf of my client Claudia. We were in talks about hiring one of your bounty hunters. Just trying to see where we are on that process.
This is the first I've heard of that.
I have it in my notes here that you and Claudia, or someone at this number, and Claudia spoke several times, kind of discussing possibilities and the parameters.
That's not the case. You want to fill me in? You want to hire us to find somebody?
Yeah, we're kind of, well, are you guys private investigators or bounty hunters? Because there is like some legal red tape in our way here. We've spoken with a couple of private investigators as well who kind of haven't been up to the task, and so we figured like a bounty hunter might be a little more up our alley here. We're trying to look for one of my clients' family members and just trying to have them tracked down. They're in some legal trouble, and we want to help them out, but we can't help them out, if they're hiding from us. So does that
Now,
sound
is
like?
there a warrant? Is there a warrant out for their arrest?
Well, it is possible that there could be a warrant on their arrest, but we've been kind of holding that back a little bit because we don't want this to escalate. And so, are you saying without a warrant, you guys wouldn't be able to do what we need you to do?
Well, the thing is, well, first of all, what do you need us to do?
Well, locate my client's family member. Her name is Claudia, my client, Claudia Fisher. And I have a note that says you guys spoke on my system here.
All right.
And I need you to track down Claudia's nephew. He's in some trouble. We're trying not to let this escalate. Too much publicity on this would not be a positive thing.
So, is the nephew on bail?
Yeah, he's out on bail, but we've actually managed to kind of talk to the courts a little bit, and they're not going to put a warrant out just yet, no bench warrant. But that's why we need to track him down now, so that this doesn't become like a media frenzy, if you will.
What bail company is he out on bail with?
Let me get that information up for you. It's Liberty Bail Bonds.
Why haven't you seek the Liberty bail bonds to bring him back?
Well, because if we reach out to that company, they're going to ask for a higher amount of restitution due to our work in the past with them. So we initially decided to talk to some private investigators, see if they could help us out, but no one's willing to really dip their toes in with us. And so I have a note that says, Claudia, got your kind of confirmation that you were interested, depending on the rate of pay. That's kind of what I'm here to discuss. So what's your typical hourly rate? And then what would I have to do to kind of spice it up to make this worth it for you?
Well,
Mm-hmm.
typically what we do is when somebody's wanted for failure to appear in court, or if the bondman wants them off the bond and remand it, we take 10% of what the bail amount.
Okay, so since there's no official bail amount, what do you what would you feel comfortable with accepting for a job of this nature?
Well, I'm not quite sure what the job is. Is the job just to locate the person?
Well, locate and return. We're trying to get my nephew returned to the residence he should be staying at right now, and right now he's kind of MIA.
Well, see, I have no authority to
Mhm.
detain anybody and bring them back somewhere unless he's wanted or the
Well,
bondsman.
yeah, so this is
Um,
kind of the same issue we were running into with some of the private investigators. So that's why I'm kind of asking you, what would you need to kind of spice this up a little bit so that we can get him back into safe hands?
well, you're asking me to break the law, and
No,
there's no
sir.
amount of money
No, sir.
you you can pay me to do so.
It's perfectly legal. Maybe you could convince him. You could try going a legal route, but in any case, that wouldn't be my area of expertise. That's why we're trying to hire outside for this.
Where do you think this individual is, and what are you offering somebody to do?
Well, see, that's I am trying to. Now you're kind of concerning me a little here. You're not trying to entrap me or anything. No.
No, I'm just asking you a question.
Okay.
Where do you think he is?
Might
And
be
then,
staying. Might be staying with a friend. Could be trying to deliver some packages somewhere. If you catch, but I don't know exactly, precisely. But that's not really my area of expertise. That would be yours. He,
well, you got
he
to direct me in an area where he would be.
Well, he was staying with Claudia. And you spoke to Claudia, so you should kind of have your head wrapped around this already. I'm just here to discuss payment. That's kind of my end of the business. So if we could
Yeah,
steer the
I've already told you
conversation.
I've not spoken with Claudia, and
Okay.
typically what we do is if the guy has a bail, he's under bond, and the bondsman wants him back, we'll do that. Or if there's a warrant for his
Well, let's
arrest,
say,
do
hypothetically,
that.
in this scenario, we are kind of the bondsman, but not directly because we don't want this to get too public. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. Is what the
Well,
problem?
publicity. So there's a quote back in the day that says all publicity is good publicity, and my client doesn't really believe that to be the case.
All right. Now, when you say your client, are you an attorney?
Well, I do. I take care of some legal issues for her, but I'm not. I'm not an attorney. She is a different person for that. It's a pretty big team that we work with here.
Yeah. And then how'd you come across my number?
Well, I have it in my notes here. Claudia said she spoke to you a couple times, and she's very busy today dealing with another matter, and so she sent me off to kind of seal the deal on this and make sure her nephew gets back home safe without much of a publicity or legal frenzy. So you have people who will go out and find a person. That's correct. Or is that you personally?
We pick up people all the time,
Great,
but like
great.
they're either on bail or wanted on a warrant from the court. Lacking that, I don't know if I could help you.
Well, maybe you could try to convince him. You could try to be a little strong armed with the way that you guys speak to him and try to get him in your car with you. How does that sound? Because, like I said, we don't want to have the warrant activated on him because that would draw some attention that, frankly, my client doesn't really want in her face at the moment.
Who is the individual that we're looking for?
Claudia Fisher is my client, and James Fisher is her nephew.
And what's the significance of James Fisher?
I'm sorry?
What I mean, what's is he well known? Who is James Fisher?
Well, James Fisher is my client's nephew, and to be honest with you, the less you know about the family and their inner workings, kind of the better.
Yeah. So like I said,
Look, you just need to give me a number. That's what I'm here to discuss. So, what would make you feel comfortable with trying to sternly discuss this with James and get him in the car and back home? And you don't even have to mention that Claudia's the one who sent you out.
well,
Could be
first of all,
you,
I'd have to
could be one of your
determine if that's
guys.
legal for me to do. And the second of
It's
all
legal to
is
ask someone to get in
where
your
do you,
car. It is legal to ask someone
where,
to get into your car.
where do you think this gentleman is located?
I need a number before we get into the specifics because if you turn out to be someone who's trying to work in for the other side, try to do some opposition research, that's just not something that we can let happen. So why don't we discuss payment? What's your typical rate? What's your typical, like, your bounty if you were to grab someone? What do you take on that?
We take a 10% of the bounty is what we do. But like, here's
10%.
what I'm asking. The
Mm.
reason why I want to know where he's
Mm.
located. If he's out of state, it's a
He's in
different
state.
fee. If
He's in
he's in
California.
California,
He's in California.
yeah. Why don't you email me the parameters on how you want me to work, and I will send you
Well, here
a fee.
we're working on a very short time frame. Do I need to transfer you over to Claudia because she's very busy today? She wouldn't be happy, but this is definitely an urgent matter for her.
Yeah, I think you
All
probably
right,
want to hire some.
fine. Let me squiggle out a little bit of detail for you. Orange, California, is where we believe James Fisher to be and hiding's maybe not the right word, tucked away. So would that kind of help you? You could pretty much at this point you're saying you can name your price. So why don't you do that and we can talk about payment from here? How does that sound?
Yeah, I'm going to pass on
We
this
could do
one.
like a half up front, half on the back end kind of deal. If you want to send me like a PayPal or whatever, however you want to do it.
Yeah, because first of all, I think you got the wrong person because I have not spoke with anybody regarding this
I have a note.
in the past.
I have a note that says that's not the case.
Well, I mean, that might be the case, but I'm telling you
So you're
personally,
saying
I've
it's
never.
possible that you talked to Claudia?
I'm telling you, I have not talked to anybody regarding a John Fisher.
James Fisher. So yeah, that would probably be why you're so confused about this. You got the first name wrong. So what's a good price point for you up front? I can do half. We could get that to you today, and you guys can kind of get on the hunt in Orange.
Like I said, I'm not interested unless he's on a bail
Well,
from a
do you
bail
have like
bond.
do you have some of your personal bounty hunters who maybe would like to make a little cash on the side because this is very urgent and Claudia is really looking to make sure this gets done.
All right, so let me just sum it up here. You got somebody that you think that's in Orange County that you want
The
brought
city,
back to a.
the city of Orange, brought back to Claudia's residence where he can be kept safe from the media whiplash that would come if this escalates further.
And you want to know a fee on that. You're probably going to look at something about a $20,000
Okay.
range.
All right. Is there a way I can send the 10 up front to you here? What would be the best way to do that? I'm glad you gave me a price point finally.
Well, like I said, I mean, you're going to need a bail bondsman.
That's who I'm talking to.
That the guy's out on bail with,
Mm.
and that the bail bondsman wants him back in.
Well, this is a family matter. Like I said, some private investigators just were too spooked to kind of deal with this, and you didn't strike me as a coward at first, but you know.
Yeah, this is you're
Where
probably
can I
better off
send
with a private.
Where can I send
private
that the
investigator.
10,000? Where can I send that? Because you gave me 20,000 as a price point. That kind of legally speaking means we're in business together. So unless you'd like that to go public, I suggest you take the money. Where can I send the 10,000?
All right. Yeah, I'm thinking at this point.
You spoke
you're
with
going to
Claudia.
You can think whatever you want.
I have a
I'm telling
note.
you right now, I have not. That's fine. I'd be telling you virtually, I've not. And I'm not going to be interested in doing this job. You might be able to find some other bounty hunters that could locate them for you. But
Do you know
I'm not
KCAL?
going to.
Do you know the TV channel KCAL, the news?
I do not.
Okay, we have several reporters there who would be very interested in knowing about the shady business dealings of bondsmen, and I suggest that you just refresh your memory, think about what we could do, how I can make you remind yourself that you talked to Claudia about this. Don't get cold feet.
We're going to end it right here.
I don't think so. I have a note that says I need to talk to you about this.